Hey guys, Tina here, the Critical Virgo. Welcome back to another Fragrance Fridays, where we continue on through our Girl Who Lived in Her Shoe fragrance journey over here with Carolina Herrera Eau de Parfum Supreme. So the major difference between the bottles is the Supreme version has like this glitter. I don't know if it'll focus. There you go. And the original doesn't. Bottle-wise, they both look the same otherwise. Alright, let me put this down. So let me give you guys the notes and then I'll get right into it. So I'm going to start with the Supreme version and then I'll give you the original, and I think I'm going to put them side by side so you can kind of see the difference as I talk about it really quick. So for the Supreme version, we have a top of berries, we have a mid of Egyptian jasmine, and then we have a base of vetiver and tonka bean. And then for the original, we have a top of Sambec jasmine and tuberose, and then we have a mid of almond, and then a base of coffee, cacao, and tonka. So a few differences there. Most notably, I'm just gonna say it is with the Supreme version, the top is exchanged out for berries, and the mid is simplified with just the Egyptian jasmine, as opposed to the original, which has both the Sambec and the tuberose in the top. There is no almond in the Supreme version, and then in the base there's the addition of vetiver and the subtraction of the cacao and the coffee. Having said that, they're very similar but clearly very different. I mean, it is a flanker after all. So when I first spray this on, I'll start with the opening. When I first spray this on, the difference is just straight in your face. The thing that I noticed the most about Supreme is the berries. It is a very jammy, juicy, beautiful berry. They're both gourmands, but it is a very jammy, beautiful berry that stands out. The base DNA of both of them is the same. Like, again, it is kind of crazy how similar they smell despite listing very different notes. I don't know if that tuberose is the major difference, and I'm sorry if you hear noise outside. They've been pressure washing roofs like all week, so there's just never a good time. This is probably the best time. It's lunch right now, but I don't know if that tuberose in the top is what is making that major difference when I first spray this on in your face. But the first time I sprayed this, I said, oh wow, they are the same. And it took a few more wearings for me to be like, oh well, the Supreme has a lot of berries in it. And then after wearing this some more, that's really all I came up with as far as the opening goes. They both wear pretty linear on me, so I'm not going to go into this whole transformation about how it dries down and how it dies and at the end of time. No, they both wear pretty linear. They just become very muted versions of what they were in the opening. What I will say is the original, it comes off as more soapy and clean. I was kind of surprised. I don't really get a whole lot of vetiver in the Supreme version. I really didn't know how that would look or work out. Yeah, I don't really get a lot of that at all. It must be a very minimal ingredient and something that just doesn't really stand out. I get none of it. When it dries down, the Supreme feels more like a creamy berry version of the original, whereas when the original dries down, it's a very fresh and soapy version. So just note that. I think it's really going to come down to how you feel. Two things: one, how you feel about berries, and two, what you're looking for in a fragrance. What do I mean? So they wear very differently, not in terms of longevity. They both last forever. Forever, like the whole day. I don't have to touch them up, which is great. But as far as sillage goes, they're very different. So the Supreme version, once it dries down, which is fairly quick, within about an hour or so, half an hour, it becomes a skin scent. It's like, where did it go? Whereas the original, it's jumping off your skin all day long. I always know it's on and I always know it's present. Fun fact, I used to wear this a lot when I went to the office, and when I did go to the office and I wore the original, people, it was, I mean, it's been around for a while, it's a popular scent, but people could actually identify it. They got excited when they smelled it, like, oh, I know that scent, it's this, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, yes it is. But when I wore the Supreme version, no one noticed it. Nobody even knew what it was. Nobody said anything. And the only thing that I really attribute that to is the fact that it sits so close to the skin. So again, it's gonna come down to that, like, what are you looking for in a fragrance? Were you annoyed by how in your face the original was? Well then, you know what, you might actually really like the Supreme version. I really thought that by having the name Supreme, it would have been more intense. To me, it's not. To me, it's not. It's not richer, it's not more intense, it's more muted, and it sits more closely to my skin. So for that reason, if I worked in a setting where I had to be mindful, I would probably pick the Supreme for the daytime and the OG original for my nighttime going out. Because when I go out, I want people to smell me. And that definitely fits the bill. So as far as versatility goes, I'm going to say the Supreme is a little more versatile than the original. As far as, you know what, I'm no longer going to say gender because it's just become too much of a topic. So if you like it, wear it. And I'm never going to mention that again. Yeah, there we go. As far as pricing goes, they're both pretty standard. For the line, you have the one ounce bottle, which is something that I have in the original. It's so annoying. If you can avoid getting that bottle, I highly recommend it, but I understand why people might want to do it to see how this fragrance fits into your life. So the 1 ounce bottle, and it's annoying because the heel falls off. It's not connected. It's not a spray bottle. End of rant. The 1 ounce bottle is $84. If you want to level it up a little bit, you can go for the 1.7 ounce bottle, which is $119. And if you want to make more of a commitment, you can go for this one, which is 2.7. Yeah, 2.7 ounces right here for $147. I think it's more of a bargain, but you know, you are making more of a commitment. You can also find them on like discount retailers. I think I quoted you on like Ulta's pricing, which is I'm not affiliated with, but that's where I happened to buy these because I had points to burn. You can find them on discount retailers, and I'm not even gonna go into blind buying because this fragrance is so available. You can try it out at pretty much any cosmetic retail store that sells fragrance. They usually carry it, or you can buy a sample. They're so easy to find, or a decant at this point. It's been around for so long. So let's see, we went into pricing, sillage, how it wears. I think that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, put them down below. You guys know I love hearing from you. Next week, I have my final Carolina Herrera shoe to talk about. I don't have the blush version. I'm kind of curious. Love to hear your thoughts on it. If it's something that you really think I need to check out and try to persuade me. Put your comments down below. Love hearing from you guys. Till next Friday. Bye.